Welcome back to TMZ Live. We are in the home stretch, which nobody likes to think about for summer, but it's almost over. And if you've done any summer travel by air, you know that it has been a nightmare all summer. I think the last number I saw, 6,000 flights canceled last week. And it has gotten so bad that the government is now stepping in. They've issued a warning, basically said to the airlines, you got to shape up. So what can really be done about this? Well, we're going to the man who's at the center of this, and that would be the Secretary of Transportation, Pete Buttigieg, joining us right now. Pete, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Thanks. Good to be back with you.
We are thrilled to have you back. So, look, I have seen you all over the place, basically telling the airlines they've got to get their act together. But then on the other hand, I saw the CEO of United Airlines saying, no, it's not really us. It's more the air traffic controllers. And the ball just keeps going back and forth, but it doesn't feel like the problem's getting solved. So I know you've been strong on this, but what do you do when they keep kicking the ball back to you?
Look, we're just going to keep doing what it takes to fix the issues. And a lot of that is requiring them to meet their legal obligations. So we've got enforcement actions for airlines that have not been following the existing rules. We've got new rules coming, which are actually out right now for public comment. So you can weigh in about your experience. That's actually part of the legal process that's required when, for good reason, when a department like mine wants to issue a new rule. We're upping the standards for how you're treated if there's a long delay, for example, or if the airline changes your itinerary and when you're entitled to a refund. And then the third thing that we're doing is we are calling on them to raise the bar on the existing customer service they provide. We're going to provide a tool that allows all American passengers to see how the different airlines treat people, because the airlines are not all the same. I've let them know that the next few days while we're getting that website up would be a good time for them to improve the things that they offer before we put that tool out for everybody to see.
What exactly can the government do to the airlines to get them to improve? How do you enforce this with them?
So like I said, we're issuing new rules right now, but we also enforce their compliance with the existing rules. I'll give you an example. If you're traveling and your flight gets canceled, something that's happened to me 2 or 3 times this summer, and I'm sure a lot of others, sometimes the airlines aren't straightforward with you about the fact that you are entitled to a cash refund. And if you don't get one, you can come to our department and we will circle back and enforce it and make sure you do. For the airlines that systematically have not been doing that, we already issued one of the largest fines, in fact, the largest fine in the history of the Consumer Protection Program. We got a number of active investigations right now that are leading to enforcement, and we will continue to monitor how airlines behave with those existing rules. But frankly, I don't think the existing rules have been enough. That's why we're raising the bar, expanding passengers' rights so that you get other protections and other things provided to you when you run into these issues. And of course, trying to make sure there's fewer of these delays and cancellations in the first place. Look, there's always going to be weather. There's always going to be some issues that are beyond anybody's control. But this is happening way too often. When you see 1 or 2% cancellations, that's a normal summer. The system can handle that. We've seen 3, 4, or more percent. And while that doesn't sound like a big difference, that's enough to grind the system almost to a halt. We can't allow that to keep happening.
I'd love to hear some more about this. It seems like it's a report card that you're going to be issuing for airlines that everyone can see. I guess it's sort of the government's version of Yelp for the airlines.
Here's the way it works. Right now, my department requires the airlines to file a customer service plan where they'll explain, over and above what the law requires, which is kind of the floor. They'll explain, what they'll do to feed you or put you up, for example, if there's an issue with a delay or something. But a lot of times those are buried on their website. People don't know how to find them, or if they do, it's still not easy to compare them. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to put all that information up side by side. And that's why this would be a really good time for the airlines that are not doing a very good job at this to up their game in the next few days before we go live with that website, where it'll all be there for people to see side by side when you're making a decision about whether to book a ticket with one airline or another.
It reminds me of, and Harvey, help me, well, I don't remember what year it was, but I remember when it happened in LA when the health department started putting grades on every restaurant.
It was about 25 years ago.
And it made a huge difference. And I think if you have something public like that, it puts the pressure on the companies, the airlines in this case, to really perform. Nobody wants this up there for everyone to see. Oh, we gotta. How does it work? Is it going to be a number system? Is it a letter? What exactly will they be getting?
picture kind of a grid with check marks. So if you want to know whether this airline does or does not provide this kind of voucher, this kind of accommodation, you can see it right there. But remember, you can also go right now to our website. It's transportation.gov/airconsumer, or just look up our consumer protection program. Learn more about your rights. There are already more passenger rights than people know. We're enforcing them. We have your back. You just need to let us know if an airline has not been shaping up.
I have one other thing. I can't believe that your twins are 1 year old already. That's crazy. It does not feel like a year to me. What about you?
It's hard to believe. I was reflecting back on that time about a year ago when we got the call, and on less than 24 hours notice, the best surprise of our lives, the birth of twins, and what's called a surprise adoption scenario that gave us the chance to become dads. And now to look at them eating cake for the first time, this close to figuring out how to walk, it's incredible. So I can't wait to get back to them. I've been on the road a lot. I'm in Ohio now. We're doing a 6-state tour to feature some of the places where we're doing big infrastructure investments, everything from a Nevada desert where we're doing a rail yard that's going to help with supply chains to what we're doing right now in Ohio with a road safety improvement. But I got to tell you, I'm kind of counting down the hours to when I get back to them, because I'm hoping to beat them to when they figure out how to walk, which is a pretty close race right now. I can tell. Chad's been sending over the videos. They're taking those first halting steps, and I'm a proud dad.
Wow, congrats.
Well, I hope you're there when it happens.
And by the way, I hope you get your flight back to D.C.
Fingers crossed. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Mr. Secretary. I appreciate it.
Take care.